Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 15 press conference stream with me, Holly Shand. And if you can see on screen, the press conferences are quite condensed today. We've got 13 coming up in just over the next hour. We're about to hear any time from Chelsea, Fulham, Southampton and West Ham. Then at 1:15 we're going to hear from Liverpool and Manchester United. And at 1:30 hopefully we get a Gabriel update. We're also going to hear from Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Leicester, Man City, Aston Villa and Brighton. So plenty to cover. Aston Villa and Brighton come at 2 o'clock. So it's going to be a good one. Obviously, a quick turnaround between the deadlines hasn't given us a lot of time to think. And apologies, I haven't got a long form video out either. I was intending on making a kind of like team selection video yesterday, but I just had no idea what I was doing. I still don't know quite what I'm going to do, if I'm honest. But yeah, we'll see. I'll discuss it on this stream. If you are here, help me get the stream up to 100 likes. Subscribe to the channel as well. This is my team as it stands. Gabriel's still a doubt. We've had an update today that he's not been in full training. He's been training indoors. Hard to know with Arteta exactly what information he's feeding us. Solanke and Mbeumo also looking like weak spots in the squad, and I would love a Liverpool defender this week as well. I was just tinkering around with my team and I did come up with a potential move that I quite like the look of. If you've got any suggestions for my team, let me know in the chat, by the way. But I was looking at downgrading Solanke and Mbeumo to João Pedro and Semenyo, and that would allow me to upgrade Vandenberg to Trent, which I quite like. That would be a -4 though, and I do always say don't take a hit for a defender. I'm toying with it. Nice fixtures for both Semenyo and João Pedro this week, both away from home though. But this is the thing, I can't get to Trent just by making one of those moves, which is a little bit frustrating. So a decision to be made. I've also looked at Isak as a Solanke replacement, but I'd need 2 moves. So I'd have to get Semenyo as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on there in terms of potential transfers. I'll get the tweet deck open. I also want to come and say hello to you guys that were in the chat. Lots of you here early. Paul was in really early, said happy Friday all. Gazman is in, looking at taking a hit this week. Potentially. I think I'd do. I don't think I'd buy Robertson. Robertson would be the last Liverpool defender I'd buy. I'd go Trent, Van Dijk, Gomez if you've not got the money. Light Rays is flexing about the heat. It's cold in Grimsby is all I'm going to say. Light Rays, good to see you though. Matthew is in, good to see you. Bonkers LFC is here. As is, hang on, I've lost my place in the chat. J-Dub is in, good to see you. Scott is in from Lexington, Kentucky. FPL Down Under is in, and Modding Alchester, good to see you. David is in, hi Holly. FPL Harry is in as well, says afternoon, good to see you all. Let's have a look then what is happening on this tweet deck, because we've got 4 press conferences that were due to start. We've got Russell Martin is in for his, so we should be underway fairly soon. I can't believe it's game week 15 already. Is anyone else wondering how we're this far into the season already? I mean, and can we just talk about Salah? 150 points, averaging over 10 points per game, the best ever start to a Premier League season for any player in the history of the game. Looks like there's nothing happening on the pressers so far. So let's just have a look at what we've got already, which isn't much because there was only 4 press conferences yesterday. Bournemouth's the only side we're not going to hear from. We heard from Postecoglou this morning. No update really on Ben Davies. He's got to go for a scan. But Spurs will be missing at least 7 players for the visit of Chelsea. I'm just going to tweak my camera because I was a bit low in the shot. FPL Villain is predicting starts for Watkins and Rodgers. There's some concern in the community that Rodgers is maybe due a benching. Yeah, this was the Gabriel update. Absent from Arsenal training this morning. understood to be training indoors. Isak came through the Liverpool game unscathed. That was from Eddie Howe's press conference. There are some tired bodies though. Kieran Trippier is improving but remains a doubt. Late fitness test. Botman is nearing a return. Wolves, we heard from yesterday, expected to make changes again this week. McAllister will miss the Merseyside derby, having picked up his 5th yellow card of the season. There was a little update on De Bruyne's condition after his first start since mid-September. We'll get an update today on Akanji and Ake. So that's everything that we've got so far. So hopefully we can add to those bookmarks with a bit of information over the next few days. There seems to be a lot of speculation on Salah's contract again. I hope that if he does... Well, first of all, I'd love for him to stay at Liverpool. But also, I'd like it to go on for just a while longer, because you do just wonder whether this form and the contract situation is no coincidence. While we're waiting for these press conferences to get underway, then I will answer some of your questions. Make sure that you're liking the stream and subscribing to the channel as well. Nebi Josa is looking at Aina to Trent, 8 Nori to Timber, and Burmo to Iwobi for a -4. Have Vista to cover Iwobi for 2 weeks. Yeah, that sounds okay. I think a hit for a defender when Trent is the defender you're buying is okay. Iwobi's starting to get a bit of traction now. He's a player that I've had in draft fantasy this season, and he's been absolutely smashing it. 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 4 game weeks, but the fixtures for Fulham: Arsenal at home, Liverpool away, Southampton at home in 17, which is great, and then Chelsea away in 18. I'm just not convinced on that. Maresca is late for his press conference. That's a good start. George says, just do Solanke to João Pedro and roll the extra free transfer. I could just roll. I look at this team and I think, while Solanke and Mbeumo are sells, Brentford and Spurs are the best teams in terms of goal scoring, especially at home this season. Is it the week to sell? That's the bit I'm struggling with a little bit. Glyn says, should I transfer Timber in instead of Gabriel? I mean, let's see what Arteta says, but yeah, I would be looking at that. Best Konate replacement, 4.5 and under. You're not going to get Joe Gomez then, are you? In terms of those really cheap defenders, I think the one that Hub AI was favouring when I looked at this the other day was Matty Cash. Obviously scored the other day. 4.4 million. Southampton at home is a great entry point. Forest away, we're probably going to want to bench him 17, 18. So see if that works with your kind of other budget players. Means Lewis Hall. Porro to Timber. I prefer to buy a Liverpool defender if I was buying a defender this week, but if not, then yeah, Timber is a good option. Andrew says, I'm bringing in Timber for Pinnock. My defence scored a combined 1 last game week. Yeah, I don't think mine was much better, to be fair. Oh, I had a clean sheet, didn't I? Raya got me a clean sheet. But yeah, elsewhere, wasn't great. I think Harry's trying to get people out of my stream because he says, are we actually needing any injury information? Of course we are, Harry. You never know what's going to come up in these presses. But yeah, the Gabriel news is the one we want. Looking for Foden news. Maresca is in now. Reece James and Fofana are still weeks away. Mudryk still ill and out of the trip to Spurs. So that's the update from him. It's alright, Harry, I was only joking. I know obviously we saw a bit of disruption in the midweek game week 14, but I think we'll still see some disruption in game week 15 of players missing out that maybe we didn't expect. Whether the press conferences will bring that sort of news, I don't know, but yeah. I did say midweek expect chaos, and I think we can still say that. Yeah, Arna slot's due in 5 minutes. We're not doing very well so far. So we've had Maresca is in. Not seen any updates yet from the Fulham presser or the Southampton presser or the West Ham presser. And then, yeah, it's Slot and Amorim next. Sorry, I've still not sorted out the volume on that transition either. I think I need to get my editor to make the transition quieter. Andrew says if Brentford's home form falls apart, the relegation fodder, yeah, it does feel a bit like that. Would you do next game week Nori, Estupinan and Burmo to Trent, Gabriel, Enzo for a -4? Yeah, possibly. Greg says thinking of doing a Burmo and Robinson to Semenyo and Timber. Yeah, those moves are okay. I would go Semenyo over Cliver, of course. Can you get a Liverpool defender though? Because that's where it's at for me. Alan says, hi from sunny Malta. Going to be some fab games before Christmas, I agree. Kwanzaa is better than Gomez. Controversial opinion. Harry says, would you do Mbermo and Lewis to Trent and Rodgers? Yeah. I think any way of getting Trent is good this week. I just don't know whether to sell on Burmo and Solanke this week or not. Like, I could just roll. I could just roll this team. If I rolled, though, I don't know who I would bench. I've currently got Burmo on the bench. The trouble is, I mean, Kuna's away, but he's on pens, and Burmo's on pens. Wood's on pens. So it's like Solanke, it's Solanke, Rodgers, and Burmo and Cunha in terms of who could potentially be benched. I don't love benching any of them. I was trying to justify benching Rodgers, but it's really difficult. Obviously had his 8-pointer on my bench last time out. I do quite like those moves, though, that I mentioned. Harry's asked about Romero. I don't think anything was mentioned on Romero. Let's see if there's anything on Premier injuries. Blake fitness test, apparently. He said today he's due to train. We're not doing much today, but we'll see tomorrow. So, yeah, it's not the most helpful, that one. I missed that. Yeah, I did have it on the tweet deck, actually. Just realised that was it. Romero's due to train. We're not doing much today, but we'll see tomorrow. Spurs, of course, play on... Is it Sunday? There's a Monday night game this week. Oh, gosh, hang on. What have I done here? I'm breaking everything. That is not the size that we wanted it to be. Yeah, there's... West Ham Wolves play on Monday. Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea. All Sunday. Who's back in the early kickoff with captaincy? I think I will. But yeah, other than the Chelsea press conference, there's not a lot going on yet. But if Arne Slot turns up on time, he is up next. So hopefully we're going to get a fair bit of information out of him. I do feel like Nkunku deserves more starts in the league. Chelsea have got 2 more European midweeks before Christmas. The next week is a European midweek for everyone, and then the midweek after, it's League Cup quarter-finals. But within that, we also see Chelsea have because I think the Europa Conference League started a week later than all the others, and there's still a game to play there. I'm going to have a look on BBC Sport and on the FPL website just to see if there's any updates on their live blogs coming through from these press conferences. Here we go. Fulham team news from Marco Silva. They're arriving now to the training ground. We have to keep assessing them. Nelson was going to be out anyway because he's on loan from Arsenal. The first feedback I got is that it's going to be a hamstring injury. So, yeah, Nelson's got a hamstring injury. Gary O'Neill we heard from yesterday, so I don't need to worry about that one. Yeah, so it looks like we have had updates from Fulham, but nothing on the tweet deck yet. Maybe this is from yesterday. There will be some that's like a bit embargoed. So I think that's why that one's filtering through now. Who knows? Southampton have players returning. Downs, Dibbling and Harwood Bellis return after serving a 1-match ban. Yuga Chukwa is available again as well. Bednarek will be given another chance to prove his fitness. Onuachu is not quite there. Bednarek is touch and go. He was going to play on Wednesday but wasn't right in training. So we'll give it another go and we'll wait and see. Yeah, Jack Stevens begins a 4-match suspension. I can't believe that. Pulled someone's hair, banned for 4 matches. I think, like, I get it. Like, I understand why he was sent off. The red card. But it does feel like the game's gone when you're getting a 4-match ban for a hair pull. Maresca has confirmed that Robert Sanchez is number 1. Are there any Sanchez owners? I think Maresca sees a midweek now when he thinks it's the Conference League and he's like, rotate. I mean, you can get away with it when it's Southampton, especially when they're down to 10 men. But it did take a while for Chelsea to put that game to bed, to be fair. Maresca has also said Caicedo inverting from right back has been in his mind since day one. Die Hard Kid, should I do 8 Nori to Timber or Vardiol to Van Dijk / Trent? I think 8 Nori is the weaker link, so 8 Nori to Timber. Sorry, I'm just checking I've not missed any member questions. Alchester says, thinking of transferring Mbermo to Semenyo and Canate for Trent for a -4. Yeah, I think I'd do that. George says, don't be surprised if Trent is rested for Leicester. Liverpool are on top, though, in the Champions League, aren't they? Mo Salah captain all the way, of course. Shiraz is in. Good to see you. Paul Ellis says, who thinks Gabriel will play? I literally couldn't call it at the moment. FPL Down Under says, who would you keep out of Greaves and Fez? Probably Greaves, just. Right, these press conferences are just getting delayed. The Manchester United press conference has been delayed till 1:45. Like, what is going on? No sign of the Liverpool press conference yet. We've heard from Chelsea and Fulham, Southampton. Can't even remember what the other 1 o'clocker was now. Oh, West Ham. So we're still waiting to hear from West Ham and Liverpool at the moment. Looks like on a slots here, so that's good. This is the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Does that change your thoughts on Salah captaincy at all? Everton are going to be coming into this game with a little bit of confidence after that 4-0 win as well. FPL Amateur, would you do Solanke and Burmo, Mikalenko to Trent, Semenyo and Pedro? Yeah, I'm looking at very similar moves this week. Trent v Van Dijk dilemma is driving me crazy, says Steve-O. I think it's easy Trent over Van Dijk for me. Like his creative numbers is second among defenders after Leif Davis. Yeah, seen this. It's terrible. And a bit embarrassing as well. Ikram says Vardiol to Trent. That feels a little sideways. George says Everton might be more open and attacking. It's better for Salah captain, yeah. And Mr. T says the Merseyside derby should be full of goals. Got to agree with all of that. Brighton press conference is 2 o'clock. Normally Hersler's a 9 a.m. kind of guy, but I think because they were away, it's been delayed a bit. Liverpool agenda. Do you think Saka is priority get? I still got Haaland. Not necessarily this week. For next week, absolutely. For this week, I think you're okay. But I would still be looking at making that move. It depends how many transfers you've got. Obviously, it's going to take you 2. Arne Slot is his first Merseyside derby himself as well, which is a big one. Shiraz says I've missed his chat. Oh, thinking of captaining Watkins again, Holly. I thought you were going for Salah to break Vardy's record of scoring in 11 consecutive games. I think I looked at the fixtures and he actually plays against Leicester on the game that would be the record one. Now, Watkins is a good captain pick, especially now he's back on pens, but he's not going to be as reliable. Let's have a look what's going on the live blogs. Not a lot at the moment. Feel like it could be a stand-up stream. It looks like Arteta is there early. It's positive. Honestly, like the press conferences are not normally as condensed as this. Arteta on Gabriel and Carafiori. Until we see tomorrow's training sessions, it is difficult to say. It depends how they evolve in the next few days. I think that makes it hard to buy Gabriel this week. I think if you're a Gabriel owner, you keep him and start him. Because I think you're going to get 90 or 0 out of him. Make sure you've ordered your subs. I wouldn't get rid of Gabriel. But I wouldn't. I think if I was trying to buy an Arsenal defender this week, I'd just go Timber. At least he was early. Oh, we've had a super chat actually from OP Talent. Thank you. Haaland to Isak and Burmo to Salah, Gabriel to Trent for free. I'm not sure about selling Gabriel because I think even if he was to miss out this week, it'll be great long term. So is there a different defensive transfer? Or can you just save a transfer and just do Gabriel? Just keep Gabriel. If you can get another defender to Trent, I'm not sure about where you are with funds. That's all. We've had an update on Alisson as well. Not ready for the Merseyside derby, but will be ready very soon. Born Legend is watching from Providence, Rhode Island. It says your stream has global reach. I love that. 529 of you in. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing with my team. I'm probably not going to get a video out on it though either, guys, which I know is probably disappointing. But sometimes you've got to put the decision before the content. It looks like the West Ham press conference is finally getting underway as well. Isn't Burmo a must-sell this week? No, he isn't a must-sell. I wouldn't say so. Not because it's a home game and because their home form has been so good. This is why I'm a bit stuck, because obviously I could sell, but I could also see him doing okay this week. FPL Amateur says pros and cons to each Liverpool defender. I don't think Kwanzaa's going to get minutes. Gomez is cheap, more of a short term. Robertson I don't love. It's between Trent and Van Dijk for me, really, if you've got the money. I think Trent is the one to get. Van Dijk's got a goal threat and he plays every single minute. Trent is more of an assist threat. But he is among the most creative defenders in the game. And when there's only 0.5 on price, so if you can afford that 0.5, I guess. 500 watching, 99 likes. Oh, we need to get to 100. Oh, we are. It says 101 on my screen now. I'll take that. Make sure you subscribed as well if you haven't done so already. I said about Captain Watkins, I said it's okay, but Salah's the best option. Ali Razor, who to start, Rodgers or Burmo? This is, if I was to roll, this is the exact dilemma that I'd have. And honestly, you could ask me now and then you ask me in 2 minutes time and I'll say something different. AI predictions putting Burmo over Rodgers. I think that is just where I am, but it's so marginal. Luke the Lucky, Bowen and Van der Ven to Matoma and Trent. I feel like selling Bowen ahead of Wolves at home is not the right point. If it's a money thing and you can't afford Trent in one move, then maybe just get Van Dijk. Brandon, would you rather sell Lewis or Porro for Trent for free? Porro. Henry says, Bruno to Enzo, Ahmad or Gordon? Probably Enzo at this point. I like this from Steve-O. Got to view it as Van Dijk has goal threat, but Trent is the one taking corners, so Trent has it best. It just depends on what you do with the extra 0.5. The only caveat to that is that Robertson does take corners on one side. Dusty Birdman says, how's the rank this week? I think I've dropped down a bit. I think I was like 300 and something K and now I'm at 500 and something K. Dropped down 200k places. Added an extra 50% to my rank. And that was purely not captaining Salah. I didn't have the best week, to be fair. I had a clean sheet from Raya. The Palmer points, captain Salah. But yeah, forward line blank, Saka and Burmo blanked. I bench Rodgers. Gabriel didn't play. Rico Lewis auto sub for 1. Pep is in and he has an update for us on Phil Foden. Is not ready for Palace. No timescale on his return. So frustrating. Like, Foden was such a good player last season and he's just not really found himself at the start of this season, and obviously still some ongoing issues. Pep was early, by the way, by a couple of minutes. Some complimentary comments on Grealish. He played really good. We're so happy for him and hopefully he can be fit in the next game. Yeah, that's nice. Arneslot's being asked about Trent at the moment, actually. A bit more kind of colour around the Arteta quotes. Ben Dinnery said that Gabriel was classed as a big risk for Manchester United. But again, Arteta said the Brazilian had a chance for this weekend. Can we talk through my transfers? Is someone going to talk me out of them? It would be my first hit of the season, I think. I'm not taking a hit all season. Game week 2. Did I? Game week 2 I took a hit. Forgot about that, it was a while ago. So yeah, it would be Vandenberg and Burmo and Solanke making way for João Pedro, Semenyo and Trent. For a -4. What do you think today's moves for a -4? I'll leave it there to ponder. It's always the risk that I press the button now by accident. I need a bit more time to think about it. Pep's admitting. Steve and Sambas both say great moves. Polyfargo says bad hit. Hedgie says do it. Z Black says wait till next week. Think Everton could score. Pep said that he's got to be careful with De Bruyne. We don't have many players. He's been put in his back a long time and every 3 days, but we'll see how he reacts with this amount of games. Okay, is rolled out. Akanji will be assessed. I want to see what Slot has said about Trent. First of all, Gerald played a good game. Not everyone agrees with me, but what I told you, if you look back, we saw in the 1-on-1, he had no problems. A few times Gordon was involved, Gerald was not. If Bradley was available, he attacks, overlaps, but Gerald is different and more Ben White style. If Connor, Bradley or Trent play there, there's not much difference. Yeah, no, not particularly relevant. Jota and Chiesa are both close to being back for Liverpool. John Stones and Kovacic remain out for Man City against Palace. Lots of contract speculations as well going on. We're getting quite a lot of information then in these press conferences today, which is good. If we just take stock of kind of everything that we've had already. So we've heard from Maresca, Silva. We've got Martin in now, Lopetegui. Yeah, we've heard from Russell Martin. Lopetegui's in at the moment. Slot's in and going on. Amarin's not till 1:45 now. We've heard from Arsenal and City. So we've got Man United, Palace, Ipswich, Leicester. And then at 2 o'clock, we've got Villa and Brighton. Welbeck news will come at 2 o'clock. Apparently Foden's out with the wrong crowd. Johan said Semenyo played very deep yesterday. As an owner, I wasn't happy. Yeah, was he playing like right back? Sure, I saw that. George says if you're committing to the fourth midfielder too early. Yeah, this is my sticking point. I don't know if Semenyo is the one. Mike says good moves. So you make up the points here. I'm torn. Do I think Gary O'Neill will be sacked? I feel like it'd be a bit unfair. Dusty Birdman, what do you think about this for a -4? Collins to Trent, Johnson to Enzo. I don't know, that's a tough one. Maybe just. Who is the best fourth midfielder? That's the question. Let's look at... Hang on. Can't even find the tab I need now. It's here. Midfielders by predicted points over the next 4 game weeks. Salah, Palmer, Saka. And then there's Bruno Fernandes, Eze, Semenyo, Gordon, Bowen. It's not like incredibly appealing. Matoma. I do like the fixtures for Matoma, but I think I'd rather buy João Pedro. Basically, I don't know who I want. And it's the same problem with the striker picks as well. I don't know who I want again. And then you just think, do you need more time? Are you best off rolling? Like, I would like Isak and Jackson, to be fair, even with the yellow card sitch. But I'm 0.6 off Isak. And where do I get that 0.6 from? Well, I'd have to sell Mbermo as well. I could go João Pedro, but then I don't think I can get to Trent. I've not got a route to Trent at that point. But I could just hold. A home game doesn't feel like the exit point for Solanke or for Mbermo. Taking a hit, tough for a defender. That's why maybe I'd just wait one more week. I feel like I've been waiting one more week for a while though, but I'm still no clearer on who I really want as that fourth mid. Who I really want in a place of Solanke. But then I'm benching Rodgers. But who else do I bench if I don't bench Rodgers? Wood? Cunha? I feel like it's between them. I don't know. This is why I haven't made a video yet on my transfers, because I don't know what I'm doing. Gravenberch will start for Everton, likely to be Jones and Szoboszlai ahead alongside him with McAllister banned. Predicted lineup for City against Palace: Ortega in goal, Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Vardiol, Gundogan, Grealish, KDB, Bernardo, Doku, Haaland. I mean, my other transfer option, just reminding myself that Rico Lewis isn't even in that list, is Lewis or Aït-Nouri out for Joe Gomez. I could do that. Light Rose says do a poll on your transfers. Now, I don't think I've whittled it down to 4 to be able to do a poll on it. I think I just need more time to think about it. No deadline stream tomorrow though, I'm afraid, guys. Having to prioritise some family time, I'm afraid. Because then the following weekend I'm on Sky on Saturday. Harry says, wait, no, Lewis. Lewis isn't predicted to start, according to some sources. Polygrapho says, I think you are in FOMO right now. Your team is okay for this game week. Yeah, maybe. I'll get there with making a decision. But yeah, I don't look at that team and think it looks disastrous. Yeah, he is, Harry, yeah. I think there's just so much indecision that when there's this much indecision, it's like, well, you might as well roll because things will happen in the meantime. There's not like one firm set of transfers that I'm like, yeah, that is the move. We'll think about it. We've got nearly 24 hours till the deadline. There's a lot of love for Iwobi, but I don't love the fixtures. I mean, he probably is fixture proof, to be fair, but yeah, tricky. Price changes tonight, yeah. Henry says Jackson or Isak. I think it's just the yellow card situation that puts me off I said G-Zak there, I'm combining him off Jackson. It's just that yellow card situation that puts me off. It's like only a tiny bit, but it's enough to put me off. Keeping him Burmo for one more week. I don't know. I don't know what to do. What do I think about Cash against Southampton? Yeah, I like that one. Which press conferences did I say I was waiting for? Manchester United. West Ham I've not seen any comments from yet. Ipswich, Leicester. Let's see what's going on the... I mean, it's like your big news outlets are just covering Liverpool, City, Arsenal. Yeah, it's a bit steady again now. Rannoch says Jackson for a long-term punt or Evan Neeson one week. Yeah, I think you gotta look a bit more long-term at the moment. That's the way to play. What's everyone's thoughts on João Pedro at the moment? He's the one. Like, I could just do Solanke to João Pedro. You don't have to fill the whole graphics, Harry. To be fair, when I was doing that bar at the bottom, the breaking team news, I was like, I don't even know what to put on there this week. It's good though, because it has been chaotic. Marco's considering Watkins captain. Yeah, I like that. I do prefer the premiums though. Lots went João Pedro and wildcard 12 and he's been great so far. Yeah, fair play. Fair play. Callum says, do you think Rodgers starts? I don't know. I mean, he probably does. If I bench him, he'll start. And if I start him, he'll be benched. There is a bit of speculation going on there. There's elements of doubt, let's say. Max is going Van Dijk over Trent, cheaper and minutes more secured. Fair enough. No. Premiums over 10. João Pedro or Cunha? I think about João Pedro this week. Matoma playing another 80, yes. You can't trust Matoma in terms of fitness, can you? Although I don't think you can with João Pedro either. Paul says, can you bench Rodgers? Because I've got him starting. That's what I'm doing at the minute. Ruben Amorim should be in any moment. West Ham update. Todibo has a little problem. Fulkrug marked his return after 3 months out with a goal from the bench. So, yeah, maybe he'll be starting. I don't know, it might be a little early soon for that. Bench Kuna or Rodgers? I think it's Rodgers out of those two. That's where I'm at with it anyway. Michael, should I just buy Gabriel or Timber? I don't have any Arsenal defenders. I'd seen to buy a Liverpool defender at the moment. Gabriel has not taken part in outdoor training today. He's been training inside. Arteta needs to see what happens in tomorrow's session before making a decision on Sunday. Is Timber a better option than Raya? Marginally, yeah, I'd say so. Start Semenyo or Rodgers? Yeah, that is a big question. Probably Rodgers. News from Manchester United then. Hang on. Johnny Evans still to return to training. Lindelof back training. Mainu and Martinez in the squad. Paul Ellis has brought in Gomez this week. Good luck. Mark Smith, would you do Hall and Bruno to Trent and Matoma? Just not that sold on Matoma. Maybe if it said another option there, I'd say, yeah, do it if it's for free. Roboball says bench Kuna. He's been so consistent though, hasn't he, Kuna? I know he's blanked in the last two, but he got 2 goals and 1 assist away at Fulham 2 weeks ago. Scored away at Brighton in game week 9. Scored away at Brentford in game week 7. Scored away at Villa in game week 5. It's 1, 2, 3. He'd scored in 4 consecutive away trips before they went to Everton. Yeah, Amorim's press conferences always seem to be embargoed for some reason. We're ticking these off now then. The ones that we're still waiting for at the 1:30s were Crystal Palace, Ipswich and Leicester. And then at 2 o'clock it's Aston Villa and Brighton. Graham says, good afternoon everyone. Sorry I'm late, you've not missed much, don't worry. Timber or Trent? I'd go Trent every day of the week. Callum says, is Sanchez still a good option despite being benched? Yeah. Liverpool FC TV says Evan Nielsen starting to look like a decent option. Yeah, I've got to agree with that as well. Henry says, Lewis to Hall or Kirkes? I think Hall for me. My chat's crashed. Hang on. There we go. Make sure you voted in the captain poll. Queskies, please, what do you suggest? Should I keep Kuna this game week or replace with João Pedro? Got to keep him. Top 3 Arsenal assets, I'd say, gosh, at the minute, I'd say Saka, Havertz, Timber. Alistair has joined us at the budget pick. Thank you, Alistair. Appreciate that. Get your question in. All members get priority answers to questions, by the way. And also, I know I mentioned last week about Fantasy Football Hub's Green Friday offer of a 30-day free trial. They've now switched that to a Christmas offer, 30-day free trial. So go check that out. That's pinned in the chat. It's in the description as well. Can't go wrong at that. I was just trying to see, Alistair, if you've asked anything in the chat, but I can't see at the minute. Graham says, and Burmo or Rodgers in the starting lineup. This is where I'm at the minute. And I thought, yeah, in Burmo. Alistair says, don't have any questions just yet. Just thought I would show some support. I love watching these streams. Oh, thank you. It's comments like that that make it all worthwhile. Roboball says, Saka, Gabriel, Odegaard for his top 3. So we said, didn't we, that the press conferences from the earlier ones that we're still waiting for are Palace, Ipswich and Leicester. So I may just go... I'll check the BBC spot. Palace teams news. Glasner has spoken. Wharton has trained. If he can train completely next week, then he might be available for the Brighton game. Riyadh working in the right direction. So that's the Crystal Palace one. We was also waiting on Leicester and Ipswich. Which I can't see yet. Let's have a look on the Leicester website. Can't see any news. Let's check the Ipswich site. Again, can't really see anything at the moment. So just have to be patient. Mr. Sitemaster, should I take a hit to upgrade Gabriel to Trent? No. Christian says, new haircut, new Rodgers. Yeah. It seems like there is a bit of that going on, if that's even a thing. Fan, should I start Semenyo or Solanke? Solanke's at home, so I'll head with, yeah. Bench one of João Pedro, Rodgers or Semenyo. Maybe Semenyo in that instance. Dusty Birdman. Would you take a -4 to get in Van Dijk or Trent? I'm very torn. My defence is Gabriel, Dalot, Collins, Mikalenko, Milenkovic. Yeah. Can you share expected lineups for Aston Villa? I don't know if I've got any of those at the moment. Dan the Man, Ahmad and Isak or Matoma and Gordon? Ahmad and Isak. Pick Cash against Southampton or Lewis against Palace? Cash against Southampton. Oh, this is interesting from Liverpool FC. We will hear from Hersler at 2 o'clock, so in about 8 minutes, if he's on time. He says, depending on how long Welbeck is out, makes João Pedro a must. Yeah, that Solanke to João Pedro move is looking at me, I'll be honest. The only thing that puts me off João Pedro is that he has had quite a steady return from injury. With like how like condensed the schedule is, it's a lot, isn't it? Yeah, still nothing from Ipswich and Leicester. Shall we have a little update on everything we've had so far? I'll just give this a refresh. So Evans still to return to training for Manchester United. Lindelof is back. Mainu and Martinez in the squad. There seems to be something going on at West Ham between Lopetegui and Todibo. Gravenberch will start for Liverpool against Everton. Jones and Szoboszlai alongside him because McAllister is banned. Stones and Kovacic are ruled out for City against Palace. Jota and Chiesa are both close to being back for Liverpool. Ake is ruled out of the Palace game. Akanji needs to be assessed. De Bruyne is one that is kind of working his way back. So there's a little bit of concern there. Arteta said that Calafiori was a possibility. Gabriel was classed as a big risk for the United game in midweek, but again, Arteta said the Brazilian had a chance for the weekend. Gabriel's been in a modified indoor training session today. There's another training session tomorrow. Hopefully he'll get outdoors and then a decision can be made. Foden's out of the Palace game. No timescale on his return. Alisson is not available for the Merseyside derby, but will be back very soon. Maresca has confirmed that Robert Sanchez is still number one. Southampton have players returning. Reece Nelson has an issue for Fulham, although he wasn't eligible to play Arsenal anyway. Maresca says that Reece James and Fofana are still weeks away. Mudryk's still out ill. Ben Davies, too early to tell. Romero due to train for Spurs. FPL Villain predicting that Watkins and Rodgers do start. Isak has come through okay this week. Trippier is improving, but not going to be back yet. Botman's nearing a return as well. Gary O'Neill expected to freshen up his side again. And then I think we have had some other updates on the tweet deck. Where was it? Here we go. Hersler's in early. Danny Welbeck has trained but will be assessed by the medical team ahead of Leicester City. So those that are saying Welbeck's injured, João Pedro's a good pick, Welbeck could well play. I don't know why I haven't got that Palace update coming up on my thing. Oh, this is it. Bobby Manzi, Crystal Palace reporter. Add to lists. News. Whoops. So yeah, still looking quiet on. I haven't seen any updates from Leicester or Ipswich. For some reason. And then yeah, we're still waiting on Aston Villa, which is supposedly 2 o'clock. But you never know with them. Marco asks, start Fabianski or Sells? Sells. Russell says, is Robertson a good choice? I've not got the budget for Van Dijk and Trent. I think I'd go down to Gomez. Jackson or Palmer this game week? Both. VBM, is it time for De Bruyne too soon? Canate is meant to be out for the month. Best Flecken replacement? I think I'd just keep Flecken. Ortega v Edison. Who knows? I think in the press conference in the week, Pep said that Edison's still number one, but Ortega would start for the midweek game. Agaba is in. Liverpool FC TV says there's 700 people watching. That's impressive. We've not quite got to 200 likes yet, though. So I don't know what's going on there. We're slacking. Dusty Birdman, do you think Iwobi will be a good differential come game week 17? I think he's a good pick come game week 17. I don't think he's going to be a differential though, especially if he gets a return in one of these tougher fixtures as well. Yeah, Jackson will start. It's just unfortunate the rotation. I think Maresca didn't want to risk him getting that yellow card and that suspension ahead of the trip to Spurs, which I can understand really. It's all part of it. So yeah, just to update you, we're still waiting on Leicester, Ipswich and Aston Villa. I'm not sure how long they're going to keep us waiting. I keep looking through their websites just on the off chance that someone's posted something somewhere. But yeah, there's nothing at the minute. We haven't even had the standard tweet from the Aston Villa account. So who knows what's going on there. Keep checking everywhere. I'm starting to need the loo though as well, which doesn't help. Yeah, some tricky decisions this week. I will eventually let you know what moves I'm making. But yeah, I'm not ready to lock them in yet. Let's give it another 5 minutes and see what we get. The Brighton injury update was just on Welbeck, which was that he's trained. I forgot the name of that Aston Villa account as well. Is it, there's a Liam and there's a... I don't know, Liam's the Wolves one. Is it Tanswell? It's every week, isn't it? Jacob Tanswell. And then there's something else that begins with a T. I can't remember. Someone will remind me. Someone reminded me last week and I've forgotten. I'm just looking for 3 now to try and figure it out. John Townley, that's it. It's another to be fair. Oh yeah, he has posted. Unai Emery will speak to the media shortly. Well, I mean, it was an hour ago. Other updates from Brighton. Danny Welbeck trained this morning. João Pedro okay after the Sander Berge challenge. Veltman back in contention as well. Back to the news. Yeah, Light Ray says Emery arrived, hasn't even come up yet. That's true. Kazzy, what about Captain Watkins? I don't love it. Kadioglu news. I don't think we got any news on Kadioglu. Let's check what this Chris Nightingale said. Nothing. Here we go. Unai's pre-match press conference is about to start. It's not as promising as is starting. Yeah, Robbo Ball says salary's on fire, why risk it? I've got to agree with you there. Yeah, still nothing from Leicester or Ipswich. Was anyone waiting on Leicester news or Ipswich news? I might switch the iPad on to see if there's any evidence of the Villa press conference. Did we need Villa news? I doubt he's going to tell us if he's planning on resting someone, is he? Is Rodgers going to play? We don't know. Total Football I need on Sky Sports, I think it is, isn't it? They're still reporting from Slot's press conference, which was like 50 minutes ago. This is quite an interesting point from FPL Down Under. Reports about the weather this weekend being quite wet and windy. Which teams could this affect? So there's some sort of storm. It's coming on. I think it's going to be worst on Saturday. Particularly, like, it's mainly Wales, isn't it? So I don't think it's going to cause a massive issue with it being so westerly. United Forest probably is. Villa Southampton. It's going to be windy. Oh, it's only wind, isn't it? I'm always of the, it'll be alright. It's pretty windy, to be fair. Pretty windy in Liverpool. A lot of rain. It settles down on Sunday. Gosh, what does FPL do to us? Don't look as bad in London. Where else is looking? Manchester. Oh, it's going to be the same as Liverpool, you'd think. And I wanted to check on Birmingham. So Manchester. Yeah, I'll be alright. Birmingham. Yeah, that doesn't look great either, does it? So yeah, if you're thinking of games in danger, Everton, Liverpool and Aston Villa, Southampton are the ones. If there's going to be any weather-related incidents. So I guess what I am going to say is if you are captain in Salah, think about who your vice-captain is. Mine's on Palmer, I'm happy enough with that. Looks like we're going to get some lines from the Leicester press conference, so maybe it's just the Ipswich one that's evading us at the moment. I'm just checking there's nothing anywhere else on the same thing. No, we're good. Yeah, so we're just waiting now for some quotes through from the Villa press conference and the Aston Villa press conference. Asked about Buonanote's future amid few reports of interest in him. That'd be an interesting move for Brighton. Dusty Birdman says, how do West Ham not have a new manager by now? Don't know. This press conference is taking a long time to start. I've not got this patience. I've still got a few bits and bobs to sort out pre-deadline. That's my problem, I think. I've got to got to put me short live with the experts team. I think I've got a few other jobs to finish off before the school run in an hour. So it's all logistics, guys. But Scott says I'm not needing any more news. I'm just hanging out to support my favourite content creator. Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe I should just go back to the tweet deck actually, because here we go. Unai Amray says there are Villa players who are doubts and tired, such as Mings, but the team will train at a low tempo this afternoon. Emery won't make a judgment 11 until tomorrow AM. Ramsey remains a few weeks away, while Onana could train but is a doubt. There we go. That's the update we wanted. Right, I think I'll wrap it up there then, guys. Thank you to everyone that has joined me today. As I said, I still don't know what moves I'm making with my team, but I will. I'll let everyone know on the community page of the channel, but it's probably not going to be a video form because I'm not streaming tomorrow, spending some time with the family. Someone has reminded me that we need to do a CGA raid, which we're absolutely going to do. So, hang on, let me find the link. Oh, they are live at the moment. So yeah, go raid the CGA stream. Tell the guys that I've sent you. What is the storm called? Let's have that as the name. Storm Dara. So can you, when you raid CGA, can you put Dara as your thing in the chat? Thank you, guys.